Do you want some help understanding extroverted feeling versus introverted feeling? Like to hear it? Here go. What's up, legend? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology, helping you find your true character and level it up so you can play life better. Do you know that? Like to hear it go? It's old school. It's from In Living Color. Way back in the day, like when Jim Carrey got his first start onto TV, back in the day. David Allen Greer, the Wayans brothers, I think J-Lo or somebody was a dancer for the Fly Girls. Anyway, we're going to talk about feeling, specifically extroverted feeling versus introverted feeling. And I want to give you some insights into it in case you're confused about your own type or the type of other people, or like, why does this person in my family do this crazy thing? I know they're a feeler, but what's going on with them? Hopefully this will help. So first up, I just want to talk about the word thank you as just kind of an explanation of what is kind of going on with these two feeling functions. So I'm surrounded by EFJs. My wife's an ENFJ. I have a good ENFJ friend. My mother-in-law's an ESFJ. My father's an ESFJ. There's a lot of EFJs around. And I'm an INFP. My mom's an ESFP. So we kind of run into some issues back and forth with the word thank you, or just like expressing thank. Some might call it thankfulness. I'm going to call it thank or dank in this video. So a lot of times, like, I say thank you all the time. I probably forget it a lot more than I actually think I do. I think I say it a lot, but I probably don't say it as much as I actually do. Feel that I do. Does that make sense? I hope so. Like a lot of times, I remember my dad, he was gracious enough to buy me a car when I was 16, and apparently I didn't say thank you. I assumed I did. Maybe I didn't. He says I didn't. I probably didn't. This is a long time ago. He might not even remember. He might. But my wife brings it up. My mother-in-law brings it up too. Just like when they give me food and I say, it's good. I'm not like saying, oh, it's so good. Oh, this is the best food I've ever had. You're such a great cook. It's so delicious, so yummy. Mwah. I don't do that. And I know that's over exaggerating what they want, but they do expect me to say it with a little bit more feeling, to express more feeling, and this is related to thank as well. Just saying thank you, I say thank you. I don't get really into it and say thank you, and there's a lot of conflict back and forth between that. In my opinion, as an INFP, introverted feeler, if I didn't think it was good, I wouldn't say it's good. If I didn't feel thank for it, then I wouldn't say it. But I don't over express it. And extroverted feeling wants it to be out in the environment. Introverted feeling just kind of keeps it within. And this is the same with emotions a lot of times. So we're going to go into what these two different functions are and give you some more clarity on that. So imagine that we have these two different characters. So the unifying ambassador is extroverted feeling, so for the FJs and the TPs. This is what you have within your stack, your character group. And for the FPs and TJs, you have the resonating empath. Okay, and this is introverted feeling, technically. And both of these are heart characters. Okay, these are heart type characters. So it's about assigning value and importance to things, evaluating it, and using this like and dislike. Does this other person like this? Do I like this? Do they dislike it? That kind of thing, in order to make a harmonious decision. Okay, that's your judging function. That's how you make decisions. And so the way I want to explain this is the ambassador is like your feelings are used to understand mine. And the empath is like my feelings are used to understand yours. So that's kind of where it's starting, right? The ambassador wants to unify. How do I bring these people together? What values do we all share here? What do you like? What do you dislike? Okay, where can we mediate within this? It's a lot of checking in. My wife asks me all the time. She'll bring up stories and like, kind of, how do you feel about this type stories? Because she wants to check how she feels about it as well. And to see if I'm on the same page as her. And in the same way, it's a lot of times this ambassador, extroverted feelers, want everybody to have the same emotion at the same time. This is something that I learned from Personality Hacker, which you should check them out if you don't know them. They're very, very good. And like I notice that a lot of times in my relationship, if my wife's a little angry at something, or a little stressed out or flustered or even happy, she'll kind of find ways of manipulating the situation or pushing buttons or whatever it is to get me to be at that same level or near it. It takes a lot of work for her because I fight it pretty hard. Even if it's happiness, like I don't express it like that. But eventually if I do get there, then she knows more of how she feels, and she's able to kind of vibe within that situation and either calm me down or embrace the situation as it's going, right? And it tells her more about what's going on with her, for her, and if she's making the correct choices. And for me, right, it's understanding my feelings so that I can understand yours. That's why I call it an empath, because it's going inside you first. It's not sympathy. It's not the same emotion as you at the same time type thing. It's I'm going to go within myself and try to understand myself based on the closest replicate emotion. Right? I'm going to find something within myself, maybe within my past, that is going to be similar enough to what I think is going on for you. And then I can kind of transplant that onto you so that I can interface with you. And by putting myself kind of in your position, I get to understand what it's like from your perspective. And then I get to make an appropriate feeling assessment, a feeling judgment, a decision based on that. And a lot of times what's needed for FPs, for this empath, is to distance themselves and isolate themselves from these strong emotions. There's the stereotype of being really emo and stuff like that. And when I was younger, it was definitely like that, because I didn't know what was going on inside. It's like this torrent of emotions, and like, I don't understand myself. I need to understand myself, and I don't know all these things that are going on inside me. I don't, who am I? What's the purpose of my life and stuff like that. And until that kind of settles and you have this ballast for understanding yourself internally, then it's pretty chaotic, right? But the goal for introverted feeling is to take that feeling, take the heart, and bring it inwards and understand what's going on inside your heart so that you can make an appropriate evaluative decision, right? And for extroverted feeling, remember, for the FJs, for the empath, it's taking the heart and putting it out in the outer world and saying, okay, these are our hearts. This is how we feel about all these things. This is the culture of the room. This is how I understand it. Right? Now we're all on the same page. Let's work together to accomplish our goals. So I hope that this video helped. I know it was a lot of information in a short time. Watch it again if you need to. But I really do think that within this there is enough information to really get clarity on it. But it takes some work. It takes practicing. It takes understanding yourself and what's going on in a critical eye and all this other stuff. But that's part of the journey. It's part of the fun. If you want more videos on introverted feeling, you can check them out over here. Extroverted feeling over there. And just remember, you gotta have heart. Keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace.